Nelsia Margaret Vincent, also known as Makeup, Mussy, Nello and Auntie Nell, of Richmond, Grandbra and Felix Park Cottage, Crochet St Andrew, passed away on Monday 14th February 2022 at the age of 87. She was the sister of Catherine Superville of River Road, Florence Lewis Vincent in England, Daphne Vincent Wallenbrum in the USA, and Vida Lucy Vincent Sylvester of Felix Park Cottage, Crochet St Andrew. Sister-in-law of Cyprian Sylvester, aunt of Leslyn Sylvester, Ryan Sylvester, Liam Benjamin, Aaron Wallenbrum, Kenroy Vincent, Mark Wilson, Kester, Neil, Christopher Regis, Gillian Lewis, Joycelyn Williamson, Madeline Wilson, Kelly, Michelle, Charmaine, Charlotte, Edine, Madison, and Denisha Benjamin. Other relatives and friends including Uncle James Lewis, Alwyn George, Henry, Glenn, Merle, O'Neill Findlay, Jocelyn, Lorna, Rhoda George and the George family, Sybil and Twine, Nautica Noel, John Dumont and the Dumont family, the Blackett, Worm and Vincent families, the Alexander family in Trinidad, Barbados and Grenada, Daphne Fortune, Glenda Samuel, Steve and Jellen McQueen, Lucy and Wellington King, Hermie Caliste and family, Donna Edwards, the Singh family of Lataunt, Dominic Sylvester, and friends and neighbours of Richmond, Grandbra and Crochet St Andrew. The funeral of the late Nelsia Margaret Vincent, also known as Makeup, Mussy, Nello and Auntie Nell, of Richmond, Grandbra and Felix Park Cottage, Crochet St Andrew, will take place on Tuesday, March 15th at 1 p.m. Funeral service will be held at the Crochet RC Church and interment will be at the Churchyard Cemetery. Funeral arrangements entrusted to Lacqua Brothers Funeral Homes. Godfrey A.B. Alexander, also known as Natty, of Tempe, who resided at Spice Residential Care Facility, St. George, a furniture maker, passed away on Sunday, January 30th, 2022, at the age of 69. He was the husband of Erica Thomas Alexander in Canada, father of Tanasha Gray, father-in-law of Jason Gray, stepfather of Jennifer Surali in Canada, and Deniston Paulo Julian, grandfather of Andre, Carter, and Sydney, brother of Phyllis Michaels in the UK and Catherine Jerome in the USA, and Valentine Maggie Brown of Tempe, uncle of Jenny Wilkinson Batiste, Hilary MacDonald, Grace Charles, Richard Thomas, Alice Thomas Roberts, Hannah Thomas, Philip Thomas, Portia Paul, Merle Briggs, Bernard Charles, Andrew Charles, Ricky, Jackie and Nikki Thomas, Dexter Jerome and family. Many other relatives and friends, including the Jerome family and friends and neighbours of Tempe, the Bocas and Laborie. The funeral of the late Godfrey A.B. Alexander, also known as Natty, of Tempe, who resided at Spice Residential Care Facility, St. George, will take place on Wednesday, 16th March at 1 p.m. Funeral service will be held at the Garden of Remembrance Funeral Chapel, Cemetery Hill, St. George's, and interment will be at the St. George's Centre Cemetery. Funeral arrangements entrusted to Lacqua Brothers Funeral Homes. Anthony Rawle Bubb, of Lataunt St. David, who resided in Brooklyn, New York, former member of the Royal Grenada Police Force, attached to the Criminal Investigation Department CID, passed away on Sunday, 6th March 2022 in the USA at the age of 64. He was the husband of Sheila Celestine, father of Prudence, Kellon, Kelvin and Kindra, grandfather of one, brother of Cynthia Karen Forrester, Cosmos also known as Ken, Stanford, and Philip Williamson, brother-in-law of Sidney and Sharon Williamson, nephew of Phyllis Bubb, Barbara Charles Langevin, Denise Gregory Wharton, Veronica Filbert, and Eugenia Francis Alexander, uncle of many cousins including Judy John Santangelo, Cheryl Shuttle, Imogen Filbert, and Lawrence Bubb. Other relatives and close friends including Gregory Bascom, Thelma McQueen, Mavis Guillaume and family, the Bubb, Hippolyte, Whiteman, Williams and Cornwall families, and a host of loving friends and acquaintances. The funeral of the late Anthony Rawle Bubb of Latente St. David, who resided in Brooklyn, New York, USA, will take place on Wednesday, 16th March in the USA. Arrangements entrusted to Lacqua Brothers Funeral Homes. Denise John, also known as A.E., of Frequenty St. George, passed away on Saturday, 26th February 2022, at the age of 60. She was the mother of Terence, Antoinette, Christine, Vanessa, and Rakisha John, grandmother of Abella, Kimlin, Nikisha and Asher John, Vashon Philip, Hayden and Gianna Frank, sister of Dennis and Glenroy John, Perlita John, Marva, Lucinda John Cador, Yvonne John, Lenny Charles, and Jerome Stanislaus. Many nieces and nephews including Patricia, Marcus, Daniela, Danielle, Nathan and Junior John, Navona and Nevon Monroe, Felicia and Angel Cador. Mother-in-law of Kelvin Francis and Akim James. Many other relatives and friends including the Bell and Griffith families of Woburn and Woodlands, the Cato family of Marian, members of Faith Deliverance Tabernacle, and friends and neighbors of Caliste and surrounding areas. The funeral of the late Denise John, also known as A.E. of Frequenty St. George, will take place on Thursday, March 17th at 1 p.m. Funeral service will be held at the Garden of Remembrance Funeral Chapel, Cemetery Hill, St. George's, according to Pentecostal rites, and interment will be at the Wilberforce Cemetery. Funeral arrangements entrusted to Lacqua Brothers Funeral Homes. Junior Peter Matthew of Windsor Forest, St. David, who resided at Caliste, St. George, pastor of the Eternal Love Ministry, transitioned to glory on Thursday, 24th February 2022, at the age of 52. He was the husband of Kathy Ann Matthew, father of Aria Matthew, brother of Helena McKay and Teresa Joseph residing in the USA, Lynette Matthew and Leona Hazard residing in Canada, Wilma St. Bernard, Sonia Matthew, Cheryl Victor, Everest Matthew, Alice Noel, Norman and Marilyn Hall, all in Grenada. Brother-in-law of Wally Joseph, Trevor St. Bernard, Godfrey Victor, Veronica Matthew and Cheryl Hall. Nephew of Mina Sayers, Veronica Francis, Carmen Charles, Josephine Andrews, and Urban Sayers. Many nieces and nephews too numerous to mention. Other relatives and friends including Trevor and Kenneth Sayers, Thomas Leslie, Alston Pope and family of Caliste, the Sayers family of Windsor Forest, the Andrews family of Post Royal, the Williams family of Rucane, Merle Mahone and family, the John family of Apretute, Martina Alexis and family of Montu, and friends and neighbors of Caliste, Windsor Forest and Apretute, church family, the pastor and members of Eternal Love Ministry Grenada and abroad, and pastors of the Pentecostal Assemblies of the West Indies. The funeral service for the late Junior Peter Matthew of Windsor Forest St. David, who resided at Caliste St. George, will take place on Thursday, 17th March at 1 p.m. Funeral service will be held at God Lighthouse, Vincent's Pentecostal Church, St. David, and interment will be at the Windsor Forest Cemetery. Funeral arrangements entrusted to Bailey's Funeral Home.
Charmaine Link, née Frank of Bogles, Carriacou, who resided at The Glen, Montgay, and La Mode St. George, passed away on Saturday, 26th February, at the age of 41. Left to mourn her husband, Michael Link, children, Maisha and Sherman Link, parents, Cecilia Frank and Harvey Bennett, sisters, Irva and Marilyn, brothers, Anselm, Ronald, Herbert, Kevin and Nigel in Carriacou, Peter in Grenada, Mervyn in Tortola, Brian and Travis in the USA, aunts and uncles, Christina, Daniel and Raleigh in Grenada, Michael and Hendrickson in Carriacou, Betty, Stephanie and Roy in the USA, in-laws Cynthia, Brenda, Matthew, Joey and Peter in Grenada, Karina in Carriacou, Dennis in the USA and Abigail in Tortola, Many nieces and nephews and cousins in Carriacou, Grenada, the USA, England, and Canada. Other relatives and friends including the Frank, Romain, and Stafford families of Carriacou, Link, Tobin, Horsford, Alexander, Joseph, and Bido families in Grenada. Friends at the Congregation of Jehovah's Witnesses in Carriacou, Grenada, and Barbados. Principal, teachers, students and staff of the Vendome Roman Catholic School, friends and neighbors of Bogles, Carriacou, The Glen, Montgay, and Lamode St. George. The funeral service of the late Charmaine Link, née Frank of Bogles, Carriacou, who resided at The Glen, Montgay, and Lamode St. George, will take place on Thursday, 17th March at 1 p.m. The funeral service will be held at the Grenada Trade Center according to Jehovah's Witness rite, and interment at the St. George's Cemetery. Funeral arrangements have been entrusted to Bailey's Funeral Home.
Veronica Joyce Karuna Andrew, née Daniel, also known as Teacher Caro, Auntie Caro, and Mrs. Black Swan, of Tuileries and de Blando St. Andrew, who resided in Florida, USA, former employee of the Ministry of Health, former teacher of the Holy Cross RC School and Paraclete Government School, passed away on Friday, 11th February 2022, at the age of 95. She was the mother of Nurse Gemma Andrew Church, Nurse Emma Andrew Venture, Teacher Leslie Andrew, also known as DJ Zion, Teacher Stanley Andrew, Army veteran Sherry Andrew, and Martin Andrew, also known as Gunny, sister of Nurse Oma Ines in New Jersey, USA, grandmother of Cassie, Sean, Curly, Crystal, Paul, Carla, Calvin, AJ, Leslie Ann, Peter, Nicole, Tavian, Samantha, Sophie, Nathan, Andrea, Devon, and Deanna, great-grandmother of 15, sister-in-law of Sheila, Meralda, Diana, DeGale, Georgie, and Earl, mother-in-law of Crafton Church, Thomas Ventu, and Alison Andrew. Many nieces and nephews, including Teacher Vardy, Tonya and Vira McQueen, and Dr. Vaughan McQueen, Ken, Filbert and Phyllis Edwards, Christine and Val Daniel, Lydia Greenwich, Dr. Gloria Edwards-Joseph, Dr. Jesse Henry, Dr. Suzanne Ines, Clometha Henwood, Michael Maguire, and Louise and Teresa Daniel. Many other relatives and friends in Grenada, England, Canada, Trinidad, and the USA, including the Andrew, Henry, Mason, Edwards, Henwood, Maguire, and Daniel families, Olive Rouget, Princess, Annie and Andrine, and Margaret Leslie, Gracelyn, Anne Alexander, past students and teachers of the Holy Cross RC School, the Munich and Paraclete Government Schools. The funeral of the late Veronica Joyce Karuna Andrew, also known as Teacher Caro, Auntie Caro, and Mrs. Black Swan, of Tuileries and de Blando St. Andrew, who resided in Florida, USA, will take place on Friday, March 18th at the Holy Cross RC Church, Brooklyn, New York, and interment will be at the Rosedale Memorial Cemetery, Linden, New Jersey, USA. Arrangements entrusted to Lacqua Brothers Funeral Homes. Rawlings Francis, also known as Stumpy, Redman, and Moneyface, of Mount Horn, who resided at Happy Hill St. George, died on Monday, 28th February 2022, at the age of 56. Left to mourn his wife, Desiree Francis, 3 children, Rickson Roberts, Jonathan and David Francis, daughter-in-law, Rena Roberts, grandson, Orion Roberts, step-granddaughter, Melanie Murray, stepfather, John Charles, stepmother, Miss Ruby, mother-in-law, Laura Scritchlow, father-in-law, Desmond Sandy, brothers and sisters, Dexter, Michael, brother, Rodney, Daniel, Beverly, Ingrid, Lydia, and Collier. Brothers and sisters-in-law, Marilyn, Janice, Teresa, Stacy, Shelley-Ann, Yolande, Michelle, Jerry, Shane, Sheldon, and Devon. 2 aunts, Clammy and Jomaine. Many nieces, nephews, cousins, and aunts-in-law. Many relatives, friends, and family, including the James family, the Simon family, the Abraham family, the Sandy and Mitchell family of Happy Hill, The pastor and members of the River and Cities Ministries, Bolio, Spice Basket, and the Assembly of Glorious Church at Happy Hill. Close friends Gillian in the USA, Marcella Pascal and family in the USA, Paula Bishop in the USA and family, Christine, Kenroy, Stephanie, Medford George and family, and James Batiste, Mr. Purcell and the staff of Ailey Purcell, River Road, Mr. Ted and family, and Chrisanne Samuel and family, Beauséjour. Many friends in the USA, Canada, England, Trinidad, and Barbados, the staff of the Maurice Bishop International Airport, the airport taxi, and the communities of Monkhorn and Happy Hill. The funeral service for the late Rawlings Francis, also known as Stumpy, Redman, and Moneyface of Monkhorn St. Andrew, who resided at Happy Hill St. George, will take place on Monday, March 21st at 12:30 p.m. and interment will be at the Grand Bras Cemetery, St. Andrew. Funeral arrangements entrusted to Bailey's Funeral Home. Dorothy Jerome, also known as Dudu of Waltham St. Mark, passed away on Tuesday, 1st March 2022 at the age of 99. She was the mother of Moses Campbell, Daniel Jerome, Rebecca Jerome and Irene Francis in Grenada, Stanley Jerome and Ivor Bowler in Trinidad, Ilis Alexander in the USA, and Iris Smith Moses in Canada. Grandmother of 36 including Janelle Alexander, Ranisa Jerome, Randy Campbell, Connie Francis Joe in the USA, and Petra Smith in Canada, and Norris Bedassi. Great-grandmother of 50 including Amika, Joshua, and Jomick Alexander. Great-great-grandmother of 5. Sister of Louise Marshall in Grenada, and Claire Williams in the USA. Mother-in-law of Calvin Moses in Canada. Grandmother-in-law of Sam Joe and Ashton Cox. Many nieces and nephews including Len Williams, Maria Narayan, and Annette Williams. Grand-aunt of many. Many other relatives and close friends including Ali Ambrose, Ruby Lewis, Diane Passay, Marilyn Campbell, Matthew Julian in the USA, the Williams, Marshall, Chase, and Narayan families of Redmond, St. George's, Moran, and Diamond, the Smith family of St. John's and St. Andrew, the Campbell family of St. John, Dudley and Eliath of St. Paul, Anne Edwards, Carol Patrick, Celia Welsh, and friends and neighbours of Waltham and surrounding areas. The funeral of the late Dorothy Jerome, also known as Dudu, of Waltham St. Mark, will take place on Monday, 21st March. Funeral service will be held at the Victoria Seventh-day Adventist Church, and interment will be at the Coast Guard Cemetery. Funeral arrangements entrusted to Lacqua Brothers Funeral Homes. Terence Augustus Nicholas, also known as Police, of Molyneux St. George, passed away on Tuesday, 8th March 2022 at the age of 54. He was the husband of Althea Nicholas, father of Jen, Desmond in the USA, Chantel, Teresha, Kimberly, Tyrese, and Zayan. Grandfather of 11 including Jaheim, Tishon, Shanique, Keyshawn, Shaheem, Lyndon Jr., Simone, Treshan, and Janique. Brother of Kenneth and Karen in the USA, Martin also known as Charlie, and Nola in Grenada. Brother-in-law of Septimus Williams, Sarah, and Adrian Nicholas. Father-in-law of Keelan Mark, Wendell, and Richardson. Nephew of Sandy Nicholas. Uncle of Keith, Kester, Kenrick, Kellon, Maura, and Savannah in the USA, Celicia and Sherwin in Grenada. Many other close relatives and friends, including the Nicholas, Harris, Modeste, and Sylvester families of Molyneux and surrounding areas, the Smith family of St. Paul's, the Sylvester family of Willis, Rhonda, Jeffrey, Sharon Amede, Raymond Hambone Harris, the boys by Tonty May's shop, the staff of Amalgamated and Western Union, and friends and neighbours of Molyneux and surrounding areas. The funeral of the late Terence Augustus Nicholas, also known as Police of Molyneux St. George, will take place on Wednesday, 23rd March. Funeral service will be held at the Garden of Remembrance Funeral Chapel, Cemetery Hill, St. George's, according to Roman Catholic rites, and interment will be at the St. George's Cemetery. Funeral arrangements entrusted to Lacqua Brothers Funeral Homes. Monica Cynthia Knight Martin, affectionately known as Monix, of Mount Mort St. George, passed away on Sunday 6th March 2022 at the age of 87. The funeral arrangements for the late Monica Cynthia Knight Martin, affectionately known as Monix of Mount Mort St. George, will be given in a subsequent broadcast. Funeral arrangements entrusted to Lacqua Brothers Funeral Homes. Eric Thomas of Paraclete St. Andrew passed away on Saturday 5th March 2022 at the age of 76. The funeral arrangements for the late Eric Thomas of Paraclete St. Andrew will be given in a subsequent broadcast. Funeral arrangements entrusted to Lacqua Brothers Funeral Homes. Veronica Horsford, née Bascom, of Retreat St. David, who resided in the USA, passed away on Tuesday 8th March 2022 at the age of 94. The funeral arrangements for the late Veronica Horsford, née Bascom, of Retreat St. David, who resided in the USA, will be given in a subsequent broadcast. Funeral arrangements entrusted to Lacqua Brothers Funeral Homes.
Joseph Peterson of Shantimel St. Patrick, who resided in the United Kingdom, passed away on Friday 25th February in the UK at the age of 87. The funeral arrangement of the late Joseph Peterson of Shantimel St. Patrick, who resided in the United Kingdom, will be given in a subsequent broadcast. Funeral arrangements have been entrusted to Lacqua Brothers Funeral Home.
Cyprian Batiste, also known as Sippo and Dread, of Pedmotar St. David, passed away on Thursday, March 3rd, 2022, at the age of 62. The funeral arrangements for the late Cyprian Batiste, also known as Sippo and Dread, of Pedmotar St. David, will be given in a subsequent broadcast. Funeral arrangements entrusted to Lacqua Brothers Funeral Homes. Monica Cador, née Langine, of Concord St. John, passed away on Saturday 5th March 2022 at the age of 91. The funeral arrangements for the late Monica Cador, née Langine, of Concord St. John, will be given in a subsequent broadcast. Funeral arrangements entrusted to Lacqua Brothers Funeral Homes. Velma Ada Murray of Monkridge St. Patrick, who resided at Grenville Street, St. George's, passed away on Friday 4th March 2022 at the age of 71. The funeral arrangements for the late Velma Ada Murray of Monkridge St. Patrick, who resided at Grenville Street, St. George's, will be given in a subsequent broadcast. Funeral arrangements entrusted to Lacqua Brothers Funeral Homes. Thomas Tomkin, also known as Tomo, of Grand Anse St. George, passed away on Wednesday 2nd March 2022 at the age of 78. The funeral arrangements for the late Thomas Tomkin, also known as Tomo, of Grand Anse St. George, will be given in a subsequent broadcast. Funeral arrangements entrusted to Lacqua Brothers Funeral Homes. Barnabas Andrews, also known as Roger Andrews, of Windsor Forest St. David, former employee of Customs and Excise, passed away on Monday 28th February 2022 at the age of 59. The funeral arrangements for the late Barnabas Andrews, also known as Roger Andrews of Windsor Forest St. David, will be given in a subsequent broadcast. Funeral arrangements entrusted to Lacqua Brothers Funeral Homes. Wayne Celestine, also known as Sion or Fish, of Mamacan St. Andrew, died on Wednesday 16th February 2022 at the age of 59. The funeral arrangements for the late Wayne Celestine, also known as Sion or Fish, of Mamacan St. Andrew, will be given in a subsequent broadcast. Funeral arrangements entrusted to Bailey's Funeral Home.
The management and staff of MTV extend deepest condolences to those of you whose loved ones have passed on. Thanks for watching.
the Bible, this book, familiar to every person on the face of the earth today, gives us directions for our life. When death comes, there is great sorrow to the family and friends and loved ones of the one that has passed on. But if we put our trust in the Lord Jesus Christ and we follow the instructions of this book, we know we will meet again. We don't take it lightly. We don't take it for granted. There must be a decision, because without a decision, the decision is made to be separated from God. So put your trust in the Lord. Believe. The thief on the cross said, Lord, consider me. And Jesus said, today you would be with me, this very hour. And they died together. So put your trust in the Lord, and God bless you during your time of grief and bereavement. Put your trust in the Lord.